Hello everybody, Calamity here, or at least that's what I wish Freerun would call me. Today's video is going to be all about the Spiral Abyss, specifically floor 12, and how I beat it. First off, we're going to talk about the Blessing of the Abyssal Moon, which is very easy to achieve for just about anybody. It's going to increase your shield strength by 20%, and any character that is protected by a shield, when they deal damage to any opponent, they'll unleash a shockwave that that goes to the opponent's position and deals true damage. This means it ignores defenses and resistances and stuff like that. It does about like 20 something k-ish damage, like 22, 23k maybe. It's free damage just for having a shield, so it's very easy to set up, and a lot of characters can do this. And this can trigger once every 5 seconds. I recommend just bringing a shield in general because of some of these hard-hitting bosses that we're gonna have to go through here. And before we start, I just want to point out for Chamber 2, you are going to fight the flying dragon thingy from Natlan. It does fly up into the air almost immediately as the fight starts, just like the Imaginarium Theater fight, if you're not familiar. Farina makes this fight a lot more easier and manageable because her bubble buddies can hit the dragon while it's in the air. If you don't have her, then you are going to have to wait for it to fly down like low enough for you to hit it, and then you're going to have to just try to take out that shield as fast as you can. The faster the better, because the real challenge is the second half, which we'll get into once we get there. Chamber 3 is the Golden Wolf Lord. If you're not familiar with this boss fight, it has been a minute. I do recommend bringing any Geo character. It doesn't necessarily have to be a DPS or even a sub DPS. You could just bring an unbuilt, for example, Ning Guang, although you'll have a hard time surviving because she's not built. But just having Geo damage in general is going to help you out a lot here, because you need to destroy these 3 statues that can only be hit by Geo damage. So having any Geo character here is going to help out a lot. So I highly suggest bringing one. And then the second half is the Aeon Blight Drake, which I've talked about multiple times before, but I highly recommend bringing any bow character. It doesn't have to be a DPS character or a sub DPS. It could even be like a support character. Excuse me, like Siegewin, or literally anybody. Diona as well. Just anybody with a bow. Alright, here's the teams that I used. I used Navia, Farina, Shilinin, and Siegewin. Siegewin is just here, I guess, just for funsies. You could replace her with any healer of your choice. To be honest, Kokomi works as well. And then second half is just your standard Hu Tao team with a Zhongli shield. Again, because so many enemies are very hard hitting on the second half, having a shield is really, really nice. And with that being said, let's start with the floor 12. So the first thing we're gonna have to fight are these lava, avatar of lava things. I'm sure you're familiar with them last time. Nothing much to say here, just they'll naturally come to you. Just be careful when they dive under so you don't whiff any attacks. They resist pyro. Not a big deal though. Next up is these 2 Aramite summoners. They'll summon their friends. If you have any AoE damage here, it's gonna be great. You can kill them and their summons at the same time. Do a lot of damage to them. When you kill their summons, they kind of just stand there. This is probably the scariest part, is these 2 consecrated beasts. It's very hard to like describe their movements because they're both very all over the place. Hopefully they group up like this so you can damage them both, but you know, sometimes they will run away and do whatever. Shields are going to be really nice here to ignore a lot of their attacks. Yeah, you can see they were kind of together at first and then they kind of split. It was all over the place, but there you go. Do your best. Shields help out a lot there. AoE damage helps out a lot there. Now for the second half, we got the Primal Geo Bishops. Not too bad. Just gonna get through them. Not much to say about them really. We just want the big boy to come out. There we go. Remember, the big version has like a beam attack that he does, and it's very weak if you have it hits him back if you have a shield. So if you just do that, you're good. You'll do a lot of damage for free. Just do the shield again, just in case. There you go. You definitely want to make sure you have all of your ults for the second half, no matter what team you're using, because the next boss is pretty annoying to deal with here. So we're just gonna get the boss for really low, and then make sure everyone has their ult. Oh. That, and still have a lot of time left. It's okay. I'm gonna use. Oh, I was gonna use Yulan's skill, but it's okay. I think a mixture of the normal attacks from Yulan and like the shield true damage thing killed the boss there. That's okay though. Let's go to the next chamber. I just wanted my burst back, man. All right, second half. We have the bird boss. Again, Farina makes this easy. He's gonna shoot down these little fire statues that I use Siege Wind to kill. Oh, I missed one. Also do this. Yeah, he'll fly down. Farina's bubble buddies are basically beating it up in the air for us. That's why we're able to kill it so fast. Yeah, you definitely want to buy your second half as much time as possible. Pretty much easy fight once you knock it out of the air. There's not much to say. It's just on the ground. It does some attacks, but they're pretty negligible, to be honest. But now we come to the hardest part of the whole Spiral Abyss, in my opinion, and I need a second to explain what's going on here. So this is a mimic fight. It's going to turn into a bunch of familiar bosses, or they may not be familiar depending on how much you fought bosses in Teyvat. But anyways, it'll start doing this large AoE attack that charges up periodically, and it also does like small AoE damage as well. It can be scary, and you can use a shield to power through it or just heal through it. But what you want to focus on is this little bar that's going to appear under the boss's health. And you just want to do a bunch of hits. It doesn't matter what kind of hits. It could be off-field damage, on-field damage, normal attacks, skills, burst, anything to fill up this bar so that this boss does not get an 80% elemental resistance for the rest of the fight, basically. Which is really, really bad. It's going to slow down your times a lot. You need to fill up this bar, otherwise it's going to be a really, really hard time. It's not going to be impossible, but again, it's going to just take a long time to kill it. So we want to fill it up as fast as we can. That's why I wanted everyone's burst before this fight started. And we pretty much do have them all, so we should be good to go here. So let's go ahead and start. Shield immediately. All the bursts. There we go. We got it. Shield time. Once it does that, it's gonna morph into basically a bunch of random bosses. It's not a set pattern, and do various attacks with them. Like if it's the plant, it's gonna do a bunch of AoE on the floor like that. Hopefully I don't die here and mess this up. I'm just playing it a little bit safe here. Not the best rotations, but there we go. But yeah, if you can fill up that bar at the beginning of the fight, this fight is basically a breeze. It's just getting that many hits. I don't know. I'm curious to know what kind of teams you guys use to fill up that bar on the second half. I'm sure Nuvolette is a good option there because of his consistent damage. But yeah, any character that constantly hits on field or off field, that's why I use Yulan and Xingqiu, is really going to be helpful there. So let's move on to the last chamber and let's finish up this Spiral Abyss. So this thing you might be familiar with if you fought it before. Can't really damage it until he fully comes out of the portal, so we're just gonna wait. Now we can fight. It's gonna be a normal fight, at least at first. Nothing really to say. Wait for it to come down. This boss wastes a lot of time. There we go. Do as much damage as you can while he's in your face. And then once this bar comes out, that means it's time to go to the edge of the arena. And he's gonna summon 3 of these statues. As you can see. And we are going to destroy them all, basically. Missing one. Oh, there it is. Didn't see it. There we go. Once you destroy all 3, the boss will get stunned. And you're free to do as much damage as you can before he gets back up. Do just that. It might have taken me a little long because I took a little too much time on the statues because I missed where one of them was. That was my bad. But the last fight is the Aeon Drake thingy, the machine, this thing. It's gonna fly up immediately. Oops. Just get our energy back. It flies up. Bow time. And wait for it to do 1 attack. Remember to shoot the wings. And then shield. And we just damage it. One more rotation and we're good to go. I think it might fly up one more time. If it does, no problem. Oh, okay. We stunned it before it could. And photo finish. There you go. That is the Spiral Abyss, or at least that's how I did it. Of course, my way is not the only way. I'm sure there are definitely tons and tons of variations of different teams out there that were able to 3-star all 3 chambers fairly easily. So it's all up to you and your account and what you have. This is just how I did it. And that is it for the Spiral Abyss. I'm going to show you my character builds and we are out of here. We're not going to go, I guess I'll try to go in order here, but let's go with Navia first. She is level 90, signature weapon, C0, nighttime whispers of the echoing woods with DPS stats, so crit damage, a little bit of energy recharge, attack percentage, crit rate, usual stuff like that. Talents are at 7, 9, and 8. Next up is Yulan, 90, signature weapon. She's using the Emblem of Severed Fate, built as DPS in her case, which is HP percentage, crit rate, crit damage, and of course, energy recharge, also going to be really good. She is at C1, so she has an extra usage of her elemental skill, really, really good. She's at 8, 10, and 10. Next up is Shilinin, 90, signature weapon. She's using the scroll set from Natlan, really, really good. Lots of buffs for your team. C0, she's at 8, 10, and 8. Next up is Farina, 90, signature weapon, of course. She's using the golden troop, so her bubble buddies be doing as much damage as possible. C0, and she's at 6, 10, and 10. Zhongli, who is on the other team. Sorry, I'm not really going in like team order here, but it's all over the place. Level 90, He is using a deathmatch, but don't use this, okay? I just leave it on him because I forget it exists. But you could give him like a Favonius Lance for better energy. You could give him the Black Tassel for better shields if you want. I could even give him a Skyward Spine for better energy recharge. It doesn't really matter. The deathmatch is just because I was doing some weird hybrid damage build with him. Anyways, Tenacity of the Millith set, built as a HP support with a little bit of damage in there. I got some like crit damage, Circlet, HP Goblet, HP Sands, stuff like that. Tiny bit of damage. He is at C0, and he is at 5, 9, and 10. Siege Wind at 90. She is using her signature weapon. She's using the 4-piece Songs of Days Past set. And she's just built as a support, so HP percentage on everything. And a little bit of energy recharge where we can fit it. Pretty much your build. She's at C0. She's at 1, 10, and 8. Hu Tao's at 90. Signature weapon. Crimson Witch set, built as a DPS, which includes HP percentage, a little bit of energy recharge, crit rate, crit damage as well. HP Sands, Pyro Damage Goblet, crit rate Circlet, the usual stuff. C0, and she's at 9, 8, and 8. Last but not least, probably one of the most showcased characters I've ever done is Jing Cho at level 90. Sacrificial Sword, Refinement 5. Emblem of Severed Fate, built as a sub DPS, so energy recharge, crit rate, crit damage, attack percentage, all good stats. And he is at C6, of course, and 2, 9, and 12 for his talents. And just another reminder that, you know, I've said this a lot in the past, he is one of the best characters in the game, one of the best 4-star characters in the game for sure. And, you know, as testament to that, I am still using this character in endgame content to this day. And I've had him since launch, so he's a very, very good character to have and build, and very much worth your time and effort. And with that being said, that is it for me in this Spiral Abyss. If you have your own teams that you used with great success, I'm actually very curious to know what y'all used for the second chamber. If you have any additional tips for dealing with some of the boss fights, feel free to leave them down below. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like and or subscribe to the channel. Helps me out a lot, and I'll see you all in the next video.